back to brand collabs, can I collab on a hot sauce or a burrito? That would be so ideal. Alright, so today it is Shadow and Schmooze time. I always like doing Shadow and Schmoozes right after 15 days of foundation because we can just sit down, talk, catch up. If any of you are new here, you can just hang out and get a feel for things, you know what I'm saying? And I'm answering a bunch of your guys' questions from Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat in this video. Don't forget I'm doing a meetup in LA on Saturday, April 28th with Project Beauty Share, and I'm gonna pop in some details right here for you guys with the time, place, and location. Place and location are the same thing. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do while you're watching, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, you can join the Burrito family and subscribe. Comment down below if this is your first Shadow and Schmooze, if you found my channel through 15 days of foundation this last time around, or if you just found this video. Say hey down below, introduce yourself, say where you're from. Let's do this. All right, good morning. We're Shadow and Schmoozing it up. Cheers. It feels so good to be sitting and doing it Shadow and Schmooze. It's been so friggin' long, I feel like, because of 15 days of foundation and everything. So everything I'm using will be down below in the description box, but I'm just going in with the Origins. What is this actually called? Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer. I've been really liking this. It feels so nice and cooling, and it's surprisingly moisturizing. Like, I did not think a foam thing would be this moisturizing. I have a bit of dryness down here right now, so I'm gonna go with the Pixi Rose Flash Balm. Oh, I hate the smell of rose. Rose just straight up smells like bathroom potpourri to me. So I only have 3 days left on Accutane when I'm filming this. When you guys are seeing this, I'll be done. And I think actually the day this goes up is gonna be my Accutane appointment where I go over the final lab tests and everything, and then I am donezo. So I am gonna be having a final kind of Accutane video going over just my overall experience and progress photos and everything. I'm still gonna go in with my Too Faced setting spray. This is literally, actually I don't even think there's anything in here. Need to get a new one. I've been saving my stuff for another empties video because I feel like you guys liked that one because it was kind of like mini reviews on the products that I've actually used up and everything. All right, so probably one of the most asked questions was about fostering. And Brooke says, how is fostering going? Do you find it difficult to do living in a big city and finding the time around your busy schedule? And then there were a lot of questions too about traveling and fostering and if I'm traveling less now that I'm fostering. I'm gonna mix these two foundations together. Can't remember if I've tried this combo. So if you follow me on Twitter or Snapchat, you're probably sick of seeing Snoopy at this point, but Snoopy is my first little foster guy. And I fostered through Seattle Humane. They have an awesome foster program and just adoption. They're a great shelter if you're looking to adopt in Washington. You have to do like a whole training and stuff when you foster, and they just tell you all about the organization, and they rock. They're a no-kill shelter. So I was kind of waiting this whole time to foster until after 15 days of foundation because I literally have no life when I start filming that series. I knew I needed to wait until after, so I had the time to do it. I actually didn't even see Snoopy on there. I was going for a different dog who didn't end up working out, but Snoopy was there. They say he's 7 years old. He seems a lot older than that to me. He's mostly blind, mostly deaf, but he is the sweetest little guy. He's up for adoption. For me, fostering is perfect because I'm not at a place where I feel like I can commit to having a dog. I'm gonna be moving a lot. I'm also not here a lot. And fostering just gives them a home away from the shelter until they find their forever home. So to answer the question, for me it's actually perfect because he is really chill. I don't think it's difficult to foster living in a big city. Most apartment buildings especially have like dog outdoor pee things. This is looking very matte. What the heck? Why is this looking so matte? Both of these are like dewier. So Zoe says, I fell in love with your videos 6 years ago when I started watching your Taylor Rant series. Oh god. Are you going to do more of those in the future? Definitely not. I feel like I'm so different than I was when I first started my YouTube channel. It was, what was it, sophomore year of college, so it's been a while, you know, and I feel like, I don't know, I've changed a lot and I'm just not in the Taylor Rant phase anymore. I've thought about putting those videos on private. I watch it and I'm like, who actually is that? I have no idea. So this is the KKW concealer mixed with Maybelline Fit Me. I haven't tried these two mixed before yet, but I'm actually gonna use my sponge to blend this out because the KKW one can be a little bit, not dry, it's just like harder. Whoops, a little bit easier to blend out with the sponge sometimes. I'm just like not that pissed about things anymore. I can't get to the headspace to do a Taylor Rant, you know? Also, thanks Zoe, I always see her on Twitter and she always tweets, so thank you. Brandon says, would you ever work for MAC again? I worked for MAC in college. When I was going to school, I was a freelancer for MAC. I learned a lot at MAC. That was like a really great, I loved it. I loved that job, but it was also really challenging as an introvert because you have to be friggin' on for like 9 hours and super bubbly, and like it's not me. When I worked there, I really loved it. I had great people that I was working with. I had a great manager, but for me that was very much like a college job. So I wouldn't work at MAC again. I think I'm just at a really different point in my life right now. But if you're interested in working at MAC, I have an old video all about how I got a job at MAC, and I would recommend it. If nothing else, jobs like that are always a really good learning experience, and I think working in customer service is something that everyone should do. Everyone says that, but it's so true because, whoa, it's kind of creasing a lot right now, this combo. I'm gonna mix my normal darker Physicians Formula powder with the brightening powder. The Marina on Facebook says, talk about behind the scenes stuff in 15 days of foundation. We need some MAC Fix Plus in here. Before I do my brows, I'm just gonna spray this on. I actually love the scent of the original MAC Fix Plus. It smells so refreshing. I think this time around was definitely the most stressed I've ever been for 15 days of foundation. Not the actual foundation videos, but just there was a lot going on. Look at how crazy of a difference that makes. Now my forehead is dewy. All of the other stuff that went along with the whole campaign. Hours and hours of back and forth emails, working on the landing page, working with the developer, working with the actual voting widget thing, like just all of that. It was a lot on top of everything else. And on top of that, I was just traveling so much, and then I was still trying to stick with my health stuff. I'm supposed to be like going to the chiropractor and physical therapy 3 times a week. So with filming foundation videos, that was really hard. It basically just didn't happen. So my health just went down the drain. Of course, it was just like right when I kind of started that whole plan. I showed up to my chiro after like 4 weeks, and he literally wanted to murder me, I think. I'm going in with my Maybelline tattoo studio. I just dip the brush in and then go in. I really wanted to get my normal 3 videos a week leading up to it, like to the start of 15 days of foundation. So it was just a shit ton of videos, a shit ton of stuff going on. I basically was not sleeping. I'd wake up at 6:30 and I would work from 7 a.m. until like 9 at night. Would not recommend. So somehow it all worked out. I've actually really been liking the AOA Studio Go Brow in the shade, what is this? Doesn't have it on here, but it's like the dark brown shade. Again, everything will be linked down below, but I tried this out in the Dollar Makeup video, and I've actually been using this on like an everyday basis, even if I don't put that Maybelline one on, because it gives my brows a really nice color to them, and it does kind of bring the hairs out a little bit. It's a little bit more of a dry formula. Every video. Oh yeah, this combo is creasing a shit ton. All right, would not use that again. I actually was gonna do kind of like a behind the scenes of 15 Days of Foundation vlog, but I ended up just getting like random clips, mostly when I was like on the verge of a breakdown stress. So I feel like there's no point in like including that in the vlog now because it's done, it's over, you know what I'm saying? Whoa, my hand feels so shaky right now, what the heck? I just like to draw on a few front hairs to give it that illusion. Alicia on Facebook says, would you ever do another product collab with a brand, or maybe even start your own makeup line, foundation perhaps? I think that's like one of my most asked questions, is if I would ever make my own foundation, start my own makeup line, and that's honestly never been, it's not something I want. I don't know, I don't want my own makeup brand. I definitely want my own brand of some sorts, but I don't think it would be makeup, and I've kind of been trying to think in my head the last probably year like what that would be. I love the idea though of creating my own products with other brands, like doing collabs, and one is coming very soon. I think that's like the best of both worlds because you don't have to have the brand, but you get to have a say in a final product that's created and everything. And I love product design and packaging and everything. That whole aspect of creating a product, I love. There are a few questions about what does a typical week look like for you. This one's from Lauren. Thank you for the really sweet comment, by the way. For bronzer, I'm going to use this new Morphe. They came out these duos. This is in Glitterati, and this shade is very light. And it almost looks like, what's it called? Why can't I think of, you know what I'm talking about? Benefit? Was it Too Faced or Benefit? Why am I totally blanking on this bronzer? I have a whole video on it. If you're pale, you probably know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna try out the blush from the Patrick Star thing. This shade looks really pretty. So typical week, I wake up at 6:30 or 7 almost every single day because I never know how I'm gonna be feeling health-wise when I wake up. So if I wake up that early, it gives me like a few hours to recover if I have to take a migraine pill. and the pill usually kicks in a few hours for me, so if I take it at like 7, then hopefully I'm functioning by like 10, and then I can still do stuff. I think that really helps me, because if I did that later, then I would lose like half the day, and then you get even more frustrated. If you have chronic pain, you know what I'm talking about. Just can be really frustrating because you literally never know what you're going to be able to do that day and how you're going to get done. This is really pretty, by the way. Ooh, I like that. That's like a pretty springy kind of blush. Has like a slight glow to it, but I feel like that shade is just really flattering. If I'm feeling good in the morning, usually I'll film pretty early. I have my whole weeks planned out, not like to the minute or anything, just what I need to get done that week. So I usually kind of like zone off different days for things. So if I know I have to go to the chiropractor 3 times a week, then I just plan that into filming, because obviously I'm not gonna be able to film like a wear test video on those days and stuff. Those are usually like my editing days. Then I'll have filming days, and usually I end up being done filming around 1 or 2, and then I'll try and edit a video after that and do emails and work on other projects and just other things going on. Workout, I've been working out a shit ton. I've been doing Jillian Michaels. I also stopped taking gabapentin, which a few of you have noticed that I've kind of lost a little bit of weight, and I definitely think the gabapentin made me gain like 10 pounds, especially in my face. I was like holding it in my face. If you look back on videos a couple months ago, they say gabapentin has like a slow weight gain, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the heck? And I definitely see it now. This looks pretty yellow, this highlight. Oh, that might be pretty. Can't tell if it's gonna be too yellow. This is the Morphe Lit. I feel so old saying lit. Why did that just sound like I was like a 70-year-old person saying lit? Hoping this isn't gonna be too off of a color. That's pretty. That actually almost looks like the new NARS ones. Actually, that looks very similar to the NARS highlights. I actually have one sitting right here. It's entirely lost my train of thought. This happens like 50,000 times when I film these videos. I just literally stop for like 2 minutes and try and remember what I was... Oh, gabapentin? Yeah, nothing exciting, gabapentin. So yeah, I've been working out. I've been trying to work out like 5 days a week. I've been doing Jillian Michaels 30-day shred. Kind of forget what my body looks like when I'm like working out. So I just want to see where I can get it to, basically. That's actually really pretty. I usually go through phases where I'm like all in with working out, and then I get to the point where I want, and then I just go back to not working out. So I'm trying to just like have a healthier mindset. I've actually been eating really healthy lately. I started doing, not sponsored, but I started doing imperfect produce, which I think is only in a few cities now, but in Seattle we have it, and it's basically like the vegetables and stuff that don't sell in supermarkets because they're a little bit off looking, and you just save them from going to waste, and you get like a discounted price on the box. They deliver it every week, whatever. You get a ton of veggies and stuff. And I feel like now that I've been doing that, I'm forced to eat more vegetables because I already have them and I don't want them to go to waste. I've been cooking a lot more. I've only been Postmatesing like once every week and a half, which is a huge improvement for me. I usually Postmates like multiple times a week. Starting to tone up again. If you want a quick at-home workout, dude, do Jillian Michaels 30-day shred. I swear by it. I've done it for years, and whenever I want to get back in shape, it actually works. And it's only like 30 minutes, which is the thing that really sells me on it, because I'm like, I have no excuse not to do this. I do feel like it kind of makes my body worse because it is a little bit like too high impact. So some things I'll do like alternative versions for, but you can buy the actual like DVDs used on Amazon for super cheap, or I just buy it on Amazon. I think it's like $2.99 or something one time, and then you can play it as much as you want. So there are a few questions about jobs, like past jobs. Bronte, ooh, that's a cool name. Bronte says, if YouTube stopped existing and you had to pick a normal 9-to-5 job, what would you choose? I'm assuming there's a lot of new people here because there are a lot of similar questions about that. And I do have my own consulting business. I've worked in marketing and tech, different startups and agencies. So if YouTube stopped existing tomorrow, I would definitely just go back to that. The way things change, something new is going to come along. YouTube isn't going to be around for forever. And I think we just need to be ready for that. So yeah, I would go back to working in marketing. That's also what I love and I'm passionate about. I think I want to try out the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette. I tried out their bronzers and I don't know if it was just like the way I was applying it. Now I can't find one. I think they're in the donate bin right now because they had, I think it had Too Faced imprinted on the bronzer, and I got so much freaking patchiness with it. I only tried it one time at night, but it got weird. Like the lettering almost got like imprinted on my cheek after I swirled it and like tried to blend it out. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to try that again, but I think I'm gonna go in with this matte palette and try it out. If I had like 2 other lives, I would want to do interior design, and I also would want to do product design. I think that would be really fun. Brianna says, how did you ever work up the confidence to take the plunge and make YouTube videos? I love makeup and I've been watching makeup videos videos since I was 10. I'm now 18, but I don't think I could ever have the confidence to actually post a video or read hate/negative comments. I think if it's something that you really want to do, regardless of what that thing is, you should at least try it, because you never know. Like, you're just going to be wondering about doing it this whole time if you never actually try it, and there's really nothing to lose, because the worst thing that happens is you upload a couple videos and you realize it's not for you, or you love it and you want to keep going. And I think the whole hate comment thing, like, that's just part of it. You have to know that will come, but I think you might as well try. I mean, there's literally nothing to lose, and you won't have to deal with that for a long time, likely. Like, you'll probably upload videos for months before that really starts coming and people are like finding your videos, and you have to deal with that. And especially, it sounds like you've loved it for so long and you've been into makeup for so long that you should just try it, dude. Do it. Oh wow, the shade is called Sexpert, so we're gonna go in with Sexpert. I don't know if I'm doing an all matte look right now or if I'm gonna pop like a shimmer shade on my lids or something. Kind of want a shimmer. That was really pigmented. Iris says, if you had studied or worked for something other than what you have, what do you think it would be? So I did do that. I did not study for what I do now, or even in the marketing space at all, until senior year when I got a business minor. I studied international relations and I learned Arabic, so I definitely thought I was going to be doing something totally different. I wanted to work for the State Department or do interpreting, and I thought I was going to be like living in the Middle East, so I'm totally doing something different than I thought I was going to be. I still think that somehow I want to make those two worlds come together. I definitely think that I want this to somehow come full circle. I'm just trying to figure out how. She also says, what kind of YouTubers are you subscribed to? I go through phases, I feel like everyone does, where you have those YouTubers that you just like binge and that you're really into at the moment. I'm more into vloggers than I am like watching beauty videos. Casey Holmes is like the one beauty person I always watch. Iris also says, do you collect anything or do you have a hobby that you don't really talk about? My dad and I used to collect flat pennies. You know those machines where you put in whatever and they give you like a flattened penny? Wow, did that need an explanation? Probably not. I collect rubber ducks for a while. That was a weird phase. I think I collected more as a kid. I had a lot of weird collections as a kid. Elenia says, I'd love for you to share your personal philosophy on how you live your best life even in the face of health problems. I'm struggling to find hope and motivation to move forward in the face of severe chronic pain and disability. You seem to be so positive and wise beyond your years. Thank you. Oh, and you're an Oregon neighbor. I personally try and focus on the good days and make the most out of a good day when I have one. There are certain rare days, probably like once, I don't even know, once every 2 months, maybe like once every month and a half, where my entire body feels good and I literally can't even comprehend feeling like that every single day. It would be unreal how a lot of people can feel like that every single day. I feel like I would be on like cloud 9. So when those good days come, I just try and be really thankful for them and do as much as I can. We never know what someone's going through. I don't know what kind of pain you have or what kind of disability you have, but I also think it's really different when you've grown up with something versus when something comes on. I think in a messed up way, it's almost easier to deal with when you're someone like me who has had this for, God, I don't even know how long now, 13 years now at least, where it's just become part of my life. Like it is what it is, and I've just had to learn how to deal with it and live with it. And so I think if you just had something come on, like if someone gets in an accident, something horrible happens, whatever, like if you just all of a sudden have chronic pain, you are used to living the best life, and then your quality of life goes down so much that I've had that happen to me with family in real life, where that happens to them, and it's rough because they can't comprehend how to kind of go from that point down to here, versus if you're already down here, you just kind of, you keep moving and you do it. I think one of the things that really helps me with coping is having at least one friend in my life that is that person who understands completely. For me, that's Rach. She's been there through, I can't even count how many hospital trips to the ER, puking for 8-10 hours. Like, she's seen it all. And so to have someone in your life who really gets it, I think is super important, because if you have chronic pain, you know there's nothing more frustrating than having people just not understand at all. I feel like I just ate tissue or something. Where did that come from? I'm just going in, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm going in with Hookup. I'm just going in with like random mix of shades. What is this palette? We have Nude Goals Cleavage. I'm confused. This is called Natural Matte. What are they trying to do? Like a NARS situation up in here? I don't know if that helped at all, but I feel like it's just all about outlook and doing the best you can with the days that you do feel decent. I think I might go in with the BH Festival palette. I've only tried one shade out of here. I used this shade in the wrap-up video. I think that, yeah, I wore that in the wrap-up video. Yellow shades can be really hit or miss, so hopefully this isn't a shitty yellow. This is the shade Euphoria. Erin says, what do you do if you see subscribers as you're out and about? Let's say you're shopping in Ulta, would it be okay to come up and say hello? Hell yeah, please come say hi. She says, maybe get a picture. What about in other places? Like, what are your boundaries? Yeah, if you guys see me as I'm out and about, please say hi. It's so much more awkward. Sometimes you can see someone looking and you have a feeling, but they don't say anything and they just keep looking. And that is 50 billion times more awkward for everyone involved. So just come say hi. We'll hug it out. We can hang out. We'll talk. I love meeting you guys in real life. It's what makes all of this really cool for me. So if you see me, please say something. This, oh hell yeah. Okay, let's try this on the lid. And I might wet this too with a brush afterwards. Whenever I meet you guys in real life, I think every single person says how much shorter I am than they thought I was. I'm just first placing this down with my finger, and then I'm gonna go and like blend out the edges. And I think I wanna wet this with a brush too. But for a yellow shade, this actually has a lot of pigment to it. Usually yellows can be super hit or miss. As far as wear or whatever, no, just come say hi. I had someone in the San Diego airport one time in the bathroom come say hi, so I think that was like my weirdest encounter, but I'm glad she said something. People have come up to my dad too, which is funny, which, don't get me wrong, he loves. Brianna says, how was your college experience and how did you make the most of it? I'm currently hating it. And someone else said, yeah, I'd love to hear about this. I wonder what aspect she's not liking, school or the social aspect or what, because I feel like I would have more advice to give you if I knew which part you weren't liking. But for me, I loved college. I really loved college. I had like an awesome college experience. Freshman year of college was one of the most cool, like special years of my life, I feel like. It was just such a big change, so different. Met so many people, did so many things in a new state and everything, and I just loved it. I actually was talking to someone the other day and I asked them like if there was one year of their life that they could go back to, would they? But you wouldn't know how like the rest would turn out. And I feel like the only year that I would like ever consider going back to and doing that would be freshman year of college. Okay, I haven't tried this palette at all yet, the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia, but there's a black shade in here, so I think I'm gonna take this because it's the only black that's like semi-close to me right now. But if you're not liking it, maybe you need to switch schools. I actually know a few people who didn't have a good freshman year experience and switched schools, and they ended up being so much happier. Whether it's switching to something, you know, like totally different, like maybe you're at a 4-year and you switch to a community college or vice versa. I think that's totally fine to do if you're not happy. But also that's the year to like try whatever the heck, do new things, experience new things, and doing that would probably like help you meet new people. There are a lot of questions about moving. So Kristen says, are your plans to move in the future going to take you somewhere else in the US or abroad? Love your videos and your attention to detail. Oh, thanks, man. So that is currently to be determined. I've been trying to figure this out for like the last 2 months. I think like since I mentioned moving in that video, I had a clear idea of what I was gonna do, and then like something came up and whatever. So now I'm like back to trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. Basically my lease here is up in the summer. I realized that I definitely want to hold on to this apartment because just with the amount of crap I have and the whole filming setup and everything, I think I'm going to keep this apartment, come back here to film, pre-film, whatever, and then just take shorter like couple month-long trips or month-long trips and live in different places that way. So I've really been considering Berlin. I loved Berlin. So I'm thinking about doing that for a couple months in the early fall and just holding on to this place, getting videos done, and then going and either living in Berlin or traveling from there. I'm also considering Lebanon, which I haven't told my parents yet, so Dad, if you're watching this, chill. I definitely want to go back to Jordan to visit my host family and everything and like stay for a couple weeks. But within the US, I'm definitely considering Chicago. That's like at the top of my list is Chicago. So I don't know, I'm going to Chicago in June actually. So I'm gonna kind of like scope it out while I'm there because I do want somewhere to like base everything out of. Probably within the US, that would also be way easier just with all of the packages and stuff. There's like a lot of weird small things that I have to consider with YouTube and having like a business in the US and taxes. There's a bunch of weird stuff. So it's just easier to base everything out of the US. Obviously, I would be paying double rent, which would be really shitty, especially considering this would literally just be sitting here. I've looked into investing in property basically, and then I would have somewhere to like keep my stuff where I'd be paying a mortgage versus paying rent that just gets thrown away. But honestly, the market is so high right now and so ridiculous that it's just not a good time to buy. Not to be too much of a realist, but the market's probably going to crash in a few years, just saying. But it would be nice to not just be throwing away money every month on rent. I'm gonna take Hookup again, this shade. There were a lot of likes on this tweet. Could you do a video on budgeting? This is from Coro, by the way. You seem very good with finances and it'd be interesting to see how you manage it all. I don't have like a set monthly budget or anything. I've never been a big spender. Like I would way rather save my money. I don't have all my money sitting in the bank. I loan it and I do other things with it. So it's building on itself without you actually having to do anything. But as far as budgeting, even though I'm like very planner-esque in the rest of my life, I don't really plan or like make actual budgets for things. I just have an idea in my mind of what I'm gonna spend that month and I just don't go past it. I'm just like aware of what I'm spending and saving. And obviously if I know I have a big trip or something coming up, probably not the best month to like make a big purchase too. I actually don't spend a whole lot of money outside of things that I write off for YouTube. I shop a lot for YouTube, but those are all tax write-offs because they're used to make videos and stuff. The main thing I spend my money on is traveling. So that's kind of like what I budget for, I guess, and save for. Also, I'm really lucky that my dad is really good with finance stuff, but if you don't have a family member who is, I would say search someone out almost as like a mentor and just go get coffee with them and stuff. I'm trying to learn about flipping houses because I think that's definitely something that I want to do in the near future. I'm just trying to find people to go grab coffee with and just like learn more about what they do and how they do it, because no one in my family really flips houses. So if you don't have someone that's like good with finances or something that you feel like you need to learn more about, then just go find someone and become friends, you know? I'm going through like a waterline eyeliner drought right now. Half of mine I either can't find the ones I like or they're like not sharpened and they're just whatever. I'm just stamping that black underneath there. So something I am super excited about. It always feels so good after 15 days of foundation is over to get back into filming like different kinds of content. And I feel like it's almost good because it gives me like a refresh button, you know, it gives me a refresh button. Just having new video ideas and everything, it just makes me really excited again, because when you're filming 15 of the same videos in a row, let me tell you, there's so many different kinds of videos coming up that I'm really excited about. And I have a few videos I thought of that I haven't seen done yet, so I hope you guys like them. By the way, these matte shades so far have been really pigmented. They've been blended out really easily. I do feel like they can look a little bit muddy. Super pigmented though. There are a few questions about upcoming trips. Obviously LA is the next one for the meetup. I actually have like everyone I know and their mothers visiting Seattle in the next 2 months, so I'm gonna be like in major entertainment mode. Then I'm going to Chicago in June, Nashville in July, probably Tahoe at some point during the summer. And then depending on when I do the out of country stuff, I'm thinking that's gonna happen in September, so I don't know what I'm doing in August, probably just being here and being in major like filming mode. I really want to do Cuba too. There have been some really good ticket deals on Skyscanner. Whoa, I've been really tempted. They had like, I think it was like $400 round trip tickets to Tokyo the other day. I literally almost booked it. It was for like the week before the meetup and I was like, I don't want to be totally dead in LA for that. Someone on Snapchat says, I'm going through a tough breakup right now with someone who I thought I was going to marry. Do you have any advice on how to get over someone? That is rough. I've been there. I feel like when I go back to that place, it still hurts, but I think that time definitely helps. And that's so cliche, but that's really all you can do. Is it does get easier and easier, and eventually you'll learn to live life again without that person. In the back of my mind, I truly believe that what's meant to be will be. You never know, and I think the best you can do is live your life, do your thing, and I'm sorry you're going through that because it is rough. I can literally go back to that place, and if you've ever been there, your heart physically hurts. It is the weirdest thing, but it definitely does get so much better. You just have to give it time. Also, keep busy. If you're just sitting around your house thinking about it, that is the worst. Go get distracted, hang out with friends, do things you like, eat food you like, whatever it is that makes you happy, go do that. Brianna says, if you could collab and create a product, who would you collab with and what would you create? So besides the one that's currently in the works, I definitely think Physicians Formula would be up there for me. I would love to create something with Physicians Formula. If you guys want to hit them up on Twitter, feel free. Probably a drugstore brand, BH Cosmetics, I would love to collaborate with. I like a lot of their products. Collabs are so cool. Like, if you think about the fact that just a few years ago, collabs were not a thing with YouTubers, and now like major brands are working with so many different YouTubers, just goes to show you the power of YouTube and everything. But also it's just insane that like brands in Sephora industry has changed so much in the last few years, and it's very cool. I'm just like not obsessed with this eyeliner, the Kat Von D one. My Eyelure 121s, these ones look like they're almost dead. I wear my lashes so many times before I finally toss them. Oh wait, these ones might be good because I think the yellow, yeah, let's do these. These ones I like because they're a little bit more separated, so when you have on like an eyeshadow that you want to show through the lashes, these ones are good for that. Jody Lynn on Snapchat says, I love hearing about all of your travels and adventures. Is there anywhere you won't go or have no desire to visit? I don't think so. China is one of those places that I didn't have a major desire to visit, but I went there because I had a friend living there and I loved it. Like, it was a good trip for me. I would never want to live in China, but I really enjoyed my time there. I'm trying to think. I think the only places I wouldn't want to go to are just like random places in the US actually. Ash says, please show us what type of planner you use. I will link the planner I use down below. It's from Amazon and it's not the Erin Condren anymore. I still really like Erin Condren, but I really love this one I'm using. I just feel like it's a little bit, I don't know, I love how like soft the pages are. I sound like such a planner nerd right now, but they have hella soft pages, very nice pages. But I mentioned and showed it in the video I did all about time management. I love this style of lash. The Huda bands are very thick, but you guys know that doesn't really bother me. Like my favorite Eyelure lashes, they have a thick band. Pure Lashes have a thick band. If you're not into thick bands, you wouldn't like any of these, but definitely not as comfortable as like the Kiss lash bands. The Kiss faux mink lashes are so nice. Back to brand collabs. Can I collab on a hot sauce or a burrito? That would be so ideal. I'm actually liking how this look is coming together. Didn't know where we were headed, but we made it somewhere. Sun keeps going in and out. We have had so many days in a row of gloominess and rain in Seattle. I feel like this is the longest like no sun spell we've had, and today is the first day where it's even like peeking out for like 30 seconds. I usually don't mind this weather at all, but it's just getting to that point where I'm like, all right, I'm done. I have this lipstick. This is in the shade Blogger. This is the $1 AOA Studio from Shop Miss A. I just did a whole video testing out their makeup. I'm gonna try this. Might be too dark. Ooh, I think that's actually the perfect shade what I'm going for. Kind of feel like a hot dog right now, but it's so weird looking back on like photos and videos now with my lip ring because I feel like I didn't see how it looks. You know when you can't see how something looks on yourself when you've had it for so long? I'm actually really happy I took it out. I feel like my nose thing is much more me right now. These are definitely very drying. They feel actually like exactly like the ColourPop matte liquid lipsticks. Happy with that shade. That was actually like the exact kind of shade I was going for. All right, I think that's everything. So everything I used on my face will be down below. I hope you guys liked the shadow and schmooze and had a good time hanging out, even though this is probably hella long, but thank you to everyone who asked questions. I usually do kind of like Q&A shadow and schmoozes just so we have things to talk about and I can answer any questions you guys have. So if you want to ask a question in the next one, just follow me on social media. I'll pop them in. I think it's over here. So again, I'll be doing the meetup on April 28th, Saturday in LA. If you enjoyed this video and you like shadow and schmoozes, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.